Come on, let's go this way. Nepenthe, you too. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on, let's all work together. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. We're just starting out here. I got puppies today. So we got Nunariak here, and we've got Nepenthe, my Malamute pup. It's actually one of the hardest combos to walk, because Noonie, hey, welcome everybody. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, what's up? And I'm out here today with Nunariak here. He's 11 and a half months old. He's going to be a year. I can't believe it's already a year. Oh my God. In April. And then I've got Nepenthe here, who's a year-old Malamute puppy. And yes, a year is still a puppy. And we're finally starting to see some green shoots here. Noonie is grazing on some green shoots. We'll make sure it didn't roll in it. Hey, I knew he was going to do it. Come here, get up. No rolling. They like to roll and stink. I prefer they don't roll and stink. That's one of the few behaviors I try to somewhat restrict, only because then I got to deal with the stink, and that's pretty gross sometimes. So I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're a 501c3 that educates people about the value of wolves and other carnivores to keep landscapes healthy and verdant. And while I'm out on these excursions with my animals, I don't eat gross stuff. Puppies are the worst. They pick up everything. You know, if you've got a puppy, just imagine that puppy on a mega dose of steroids and you kind of got a Noonie, right? But while I'm out on these, I try to do a little educating and answer questions that people might have about my work, about wolves in general, or the alpha wolf myth is kind of a topic I've been talking about and thinking about a lot lately, because it has also inspired a super toxic leadership culture, a coaching culture, even a parenting culture. I mean, I've even been at schools to give talks and seen little kids insist that they're an alpha. I'm like, okay, this myth has gone too far. We're getting a little weather here, kind of hit and miss with the snow. Welcome. So one of these is a Malamute here. This is an Alaskan Malamute. You can see the difference. He's got a curly tail. That's one of the characteristics that happened when we domesticated primitive. So the modern wolf, like Nunariak here, shares a common ancestor with the domestic dog, but the domestic dog did not actually descend directly from wolves like this, which is a common misconception. They both share a common ancestor, although Malamutes are somewhat unique in that the Malamute line, which is what Nepenthe is, I call them skunk wolves, by the way. Malamutes were very interesting because they're the only breed of dog that had modern wolf DNA bred back into the line specifically for certain characteristics that the indigenous people needed with their dogs once they came to North America. And that was, they needed a bigger, stronger, more cold resistant canine. And the canine source material for that was wolves. And so Malamutes are a very wolfy breed of dog, which is one of the reasons I like them. They do very well with wolves. In fact, as much smaller as Nepenthe is than Nunariak, she's still fierce with him, and he actually fears her a little bit. She's a little older, and she's feisty. We say she's a spicy girl, which unfortunately for her, her bark is louder than her bite is strong, and she's created some enmity with one of our females, Mooney, who would eat her if they had a conflict. So we're pretty mindful of that. Who am I and what am I doing? I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy, and I'm out exercising and providing enrichment for Nepenthe and Nunariak. That's what I'm doing. Thank you, guys. Yeah, corgis are funny dogs. I like them. Somebody just sent me a picture of their dog, which was a husky corgi mix, which is a very interesting combo. It's sort of like a short-legged husky. All right, somebody. No, we're not doing that. Nope, we don't know. No, we don't know. Somebody left gummy bears on a rock. Strange thing. Come on. You can have gummy bears at home. Oh, he's so strong. Let's go this way. Come on. So I use these pretty long lines, and they're attached to me with a belt. So if something goes wrong, I don't lose my animals. But that means I do a lot of fancy dancing over rope. I'm a little overdressed, actually. Yes, that's correct. Malamutes, I mean, a big Malamute has powerful jaws for sure. They're quite strong, surprisingly strong, but not in comparison to, Nunariak, who can literally, hey, nope. I don't know why people are putting gummy bears out. I don't like it. It's a very weird thing somebody's done here. Like, that's the kind of thing that freaks me out. All right, let's move on. Like, why would somebody be putting gummy bears on top of rocks? That's such a strange thing. Whenever I see something like that, it makes me feel like somebody's trying to harm wildlife. The problem is that if I come near it, they're just going to try to get it. Hey, leave it. Nope. No, leave it. Come on. Leave it. Thank you. They're not big on the leave it command. Hopefully that's the last of that crap I see. I don't know why somebody would do that. It always makes me paranoid. Somebody's putting xylitol out in the woods to harm the coyotes. Yes. Hey, Jack. I'm going to do my best to say his name here. Jack Mayhoff. Hey, this is Oliver the Wolf Guy, and I hope you feel better and have a speedy recovery and can get back out into the regular world doing the things you love to do. I'm going to give you a wave and a shout out. Hey, Jack. I hope you get better fast, man. Can my dogs sing? Oh, yeah, they have an amazing howl. I don't hear my other animals that are back in their habitat howling right now, but we might. These guys probably won't howl back because they're puppies and they don't feel that confident to respond when they're away from their habitat. Nepenthe, come on. Oh, playful. Always a little tricky when they get playful while they're attached to you. And if you watch closely, about once or twice a week on these patrols, I get dragged off my feet. For those of you that are curious about the size here, Nooney's about 130 pounds, and Nepenthe is about 80. But she looks like a Shiba Inu next to him. Oh, you're welcome, Joe. I hope he feels better. Always scary to have a loved one in the hospital. Yes, well, we've made some changes, make me shorter. So we're kind of out of breeding season now. At least we're confident enough that we're not going to have reproduction. That we've actually let Sunny and Mooney back in with Icknick during the day, which puts Mooney in a much better frame of mind. But and we can let Noonie in with him any time. But Akutak, our old lady, kind of gets sad because she's sort of feeling displaced from the her family. And so since she loves puppies the most, what I've been doing is I've been leaving Noonie and Nepenthe here with our old lady Akutak, and then I've been letting Icknick and Sunny and Mooney hang out together. And we're swapping them back and forth from the big habitat to the smaller habitat, just alternating. And part of that is just because every time that they're near each other on the fence, Mooney just goes nuts trying to get to Nepenthe here. Nepenthe made a mistake. Nepenthe got up in her face and aggressive towards her, and she's like, "Oh yeah? Let me show you what that looks like." And that behavior has not attenuated. I was kind of guardedly optimistic that maybe that would relent a little bit once we got into the spring here. So far shows no signs of improving, which is sad because it's so much more fun to have everybody all together and interacting as a big happy family group. But that's the thing about captive wolves versus wild wolves, is that when there's conflict in a wild wolf family group, the animals can disperse to relieve the stress. There's also kind of unlimited space, and so you don't have this compression of animosity. And of course, the other deal here is, Nepenthe is a dog, and so she should have just submit when Mooney got upset, and instead she went right back at her, and then we stopped that from becoming a fight. And so there was no resolution, because we couldn't risk the resolution being that Nepenthe got harmed. And because of that, we've got a more complex dynamic. And then the other thing that happened this winter was I noticed that Sunny was starting to test Akutak a little bit. She was sort of standing on her and just sort of pushing on her a little bit. And Akutak is going to be 14 in 10 days. So she's old lady. And she's quite fiery, but she's no match for now I can hear our animals howling. We're about a half a mile away or so. I'm not sure the mic is good enough on a phone to pick it up. It's noisy. There's traffic noise in the distance. It's kind of covering it up. They hear it. Oh, you're bouncing, huh? So, what's this? I don't know what's going on with real Arthur Morgan. Anyhow, so to continue to answer your question, I noticed that Sunny was testing Akutak a little bit, and that really concerned me because in a true conflict, I don't think Akutak is a match for Sunny, and I didn't want my old lady to get hurt. And so we separated them as well. And that's less of it seems there's less animosity there, and that maybe when we get into the oxytocin-driven time of the year, where these animals would normally have puppies, that we'll see an attenuation of some of those aggressive tendencies. But I don't know that I'll ever be able to fully let Akutak be with the girls again. Certainly not totally unattended. I had a good friend who had an older female in with two younger animals, and she came home one day, everything was fine, till it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't when she wasn't home, and she came home to a mortally wounded animal. And I would never forgive myself if I allowed that to happen. And so we're incredibly conservative in our approach. I would say that as much as I am extremely avant-garde in my approach to the work, all my decisions are super conservative. They're all based on, oh, hey, thank you so much. My gosh, that's so kind of you. Supports our nonprofit and all the work we do. So I'm super grateful, Coast Chillin'. Thank you very much. That's just amazing. Really appreciate that. So yeah, we're super conservative with our animal husbandry, and we're always prepared to separate animals or provide any kind of supportive care as they age. And so it'd be great if they were all together and could have fun and romp in the whole expanded habitat. But If not, then it's not to be. And we adapt and we learn from the animals the behaviors that they exhibit, because we've been doing a pretty complex thing to have so many different ages and intact animals. And I always sort of sensed, that it's just a matter of time as animals mature that some of those dynamics are going to shift. And because we have captive animals and the space is big but not wild spaces, that you are going to see some of those changes happen and require that you have to modify, who's with who. I mean, if Kui was 4 years younger, I think she would just continue to rule with an iron paw as the matriarch, and we wouldn't have to do that. But we had two big changes. One is, she's older, and these girls are just reaching sexual maturity this year. And then, of course, our 14-year-old Malamute Bixby passed away, and he was sort of this huge, calm, steadying force, and sort of had this way of lowering the intensity of everybody else, because they were all a little scared of him. And he was the sheriff for sure. And so between the loss last year of our sheriff and the changing dynamics of age and sexual maturity, we've had, kind of predictable alterations in the dynamic. Yeah, well, she's tall. She's the lightest body weight wise for sure. She's super slight, but she's tall, and it's not always the biggest wolf that is the boss. I mean, it can be for sure. Size definitely matters, but I mean, as an example, Nepenthe here puts the fear of God in Noonie on a regular basis. Now, I don't know how long that'll persist. One of these days, he's going to figure out he's big, and he's probably going to kick her ass a little bit, but he won't ever hurt her. The males, I've never had a male that harmed a female. I'm not saying it could never happen, but I've never had it happen. And I've had these animals for 40 years, and I've never had a male attack a female. Not that they knew. I mean, come here. We're going to cross a little stream here, and then we got a pretty steep little... What are you after? Don't eat weird stuff. I took a mouse out of his mouth the other day, which kind of amazed me I can still do that. He's a puppy. If I tried to do that with Aiknick, I'd get a spanking probably. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here. Thank you. I appreciate that, Deanna. Yes, that's exactly right. You're very clearly a student of wolves, Yami, which I really appreciate. There's always a few people tuning into me who are wolf experts, and I always love that because it adds a lot of context and brings up interesting stuff that I might miss. So I'm super appreciative of those folks that join in and are happy to comment. But Deanna, Weave the coyote is super interesting. It's funny, people kind of compare me and Timmy MC, which on the one hand is kind of it's kind of fun and nice because he's got a huge following and his videos are definitely super engaging. On the other hand, we're very, very different. I mean, he's a personality for sure. What transpired with Weave, if his story is true, that's just remarkable. That's such a unusual thing. And I think Weave is super fun and cute, and I love coyotes. And she, I tell my wife when I'm 57, I definitely feel my age a bit as my prior life as a pro athlete has caught up with me, particularly from my knees, which are beat to hell. I tell my wife, when I can't do wolves anymore, I'll do coyotes. I did rescue a coyote last year, but I did not keep that coyote. I had to turn it over to California Department of Fish and Game. which was hard. I was really fond of this little coyote, but it was orphaned, it was dying. A friend of mine who's a rehabber got it and saved its life for sure. And then there was talk of seeing if I could add it, but in the long run, we decided there was too much risk to the coyote to be potentially interacting with wolves. We were just so much bigger. And hey, let's not do. Really? Are you going to do that while you're attached to me? I guess he is. Hey, stay over here. This is how I get dragged off my feet, is when a 130-pound animal decides he wants to get spunky. But I'd rather they get spunky on the uphill than the downhill. We've got some cool weather. We got frozen rain happening right now, grapple, which is really interesting material. You can hear it, check it out. That's what frozen rain looks like. See how there's no crystals? It's just round little balls. And then if it intensifies, you can get, instead of grapple, you can get hail. That's coming out pretty good now. I love being out in the weather. I'm always well prepared for it. Yeah, that's what happens. We beat ourselves up, Deanna, and then we pay the price. I've had more stem cells in my knees than almost anyone alive, because a friend of mine is one of the top stem cell guys in the country, and he's used me as his test pilot. And it's worked great for the most part, but I've kind of reached the limits of what autologous stem cells can do. I am considering doing some exogenous stem cell exosome therapy when I can. It's very, very expensive. We operate, as all nonprofits do, we operate on a shoestring, and I'm always prioritizing the animals ahead of myself, which is, hey, Nepente, come on. What any good director of a nonprofit is going to do. And so I haven't had the budget to try to fix myself with that experimental therapy. But I'm hopeful that some of the projects I'm working on will expand our resources a bit. Yes, that's true. They're not very nice to coyotes in the wild. So there are a ton of clinics now, Deanna, that are doing stem cells, and exogenous stem cells are where they pull them out of your bone marrow, and they usually combine it with platelet-rich plasma. For me, for over a decade, it really worked. Even when I tore my ACL and really hurt my knee, we fixed it without surgery. But there's just a certain point at which just the massive amount of wear and tear. And part of the problem is what I'm doing right now, right? I get pulled around a lot, and especially on downhills, which means I just have incredible impact. And I always am wearing about a 30-pound pack. And so that really magnifies, between being pulled and carrying a pack, it just magnifies that abuse, and it's taking a toll. But there's some new, apparently now there's some regrow your cartilage and graft it in that I might look into. Again, all these things are fully out of pocket. Insurance just won't pay for any of it. And so you're faced with resource scarcity if you're me. So endogenous is pulled out of marrow, or autologous, and exogenous is when they get it from a bioreactor from fetal cell lines. And just so you know, that's not a destructive process to a fetus. The places that are doing it in the United States contract with pregnant mothers, and they monitor their entire process to make sure it goes perfectly. They get a lot of support And after they've had their baby, certain fractions of, I guess, the placenta are extracted for certain fractions of the stem cells. And there's a place called Warm Springs Clinic in Los Angeles that's one of the leaders. They're also doing it in Mexico. I don't know. I will tell you this, Deanna. I am a grinder. You know, I was a pro cyclist, pro mountain biker, big mountain skier, do a lot of climbing, and I'm not setting any records for top end these days, but I'm good at being uncomfortable for a long ass time. And so, yeah, I can kind of move at a steady pace all day, or split 10 cords of wood in a day, just sort of grinding. I think that's that's what happens when you get old, is that your hand strength stays, you stay pretty strong. You lose some of your top end. Your resiliency to injury obviously really decreases. Like if I jump off a cliff these days and on skis and I don't land in super steep, super soft stuff, things go burring and it's not pretty. But I can do this kind of stuff all day if I want. Yeah, Warm Springs Clinic, LA. Hey, so for those of you who maybe are jumping on here and are just hearing a conversation, this is me. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're a 501c3, does education primarily about wolves, but generally about carnivores and how they help keep landscapes healthy. And today I'm out here doing an extra habitat excursion with Nunaryak. I call him Noonie. His name means earth or of the land in Inuktitut. And with Noonie, with the floofy curly tail, is my spicy Malamute girl, Nepenthe. Nepenthe is from Greek mythology. It means a magical elixir to help you forget your sorrow. It also is a name of a place in Big Sur. And it's inspired also by the name of my Malamute Bixby, who passed at 14. And so, yeah, she's my warm, fuzzy blanket I brought into my life after he passed away. And I really missed having a Malamute in my bed every night, because she sleeps with me every night. She's very cozy. Come on, let's keep going. And we're getting a pretty good shower now happening here. Frozen rain. So if this is your first time to my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you join the channel as a member, you should, I frequently do these private posts for you guys, and if you give me your mailing address, I send you a personal gift, a Wolfie personal gift, among other things. If you want to support my work, a couple ways you can do that. OliverTheWolfGuy.com is my merch shop online. I would love to get my YouTube shop going again here. I've got a funny challenge. If any of you guys are tech experts, by the way, reach out to me. OliverTheWolfGuy@gmail.com. I would hire some help, but I've got this sort of pernicious issue I can't sort out for myself with my limited tech skills. And as a result, I don't have my online shop going right now. But you can go to OliverTheWolfGuy.com and get all the same stuff. Or you could support my nonprofit, the Tahoe Wolf Center, TahoeWolfCenter.org. And if you're a dog person, I'm assuming if you're hanging out with me here, you're probably a dog person. I have a book out, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, which synthesizes my 40 years of successfully working with wolves, Malamutes, rescues of various types, Dachshunds, Pomeranians, Coyotes, and provides actionable insights into behavior and husbandry that will undoubtedly make your dogs love you more. That's on Amazon. It's also on books.by and other online locations, but it's easiest to find on Amazon or books.by, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. So that's how you could support my work. Or, yeah, you can always give me supers here if you want to. We did have one kind of shocking, nice one earlier. I was super grateful for that. I'm always surprised when people do that, but super grateful. And all of the revenues that we generate with this work goes to support our nonprofit and these animals. Except for Nepente. I support Nepente myself because she's just a skunk wolf, not a full one. Yeah, that's great. Train your 10. You know, it's funny. I never got injured when I was young, really. I mean, particularly considering what I was doing and how intensely my injuries were relatively limited. It was when I hit 50 and I didn't really back off. I just don't have enough moderation, right? The problem is that you have this high threshold for risk and adrenaline, and then stuff goes wrong. Like, I tore my Achilles in 2020. I hit a bump, hardly doing anything, and my boot kind of popped open, and my Achilles just went sprawling, and I had to have that surgically repaired. That's solid now, but the knee injuries have really impacted my comfort level and the risks I can take, because the last thing I need is to have something explode when I'm alone in the backcountry. I've already had that experience twice. And self-rescuing for 8 hours by swimming out on your skis is a long trek. I actually, one big change I made as a result of that accident, because it was truly one of those. My knee was completely destroyed. I was alone with no cell service in a place where there was not going to be another person rolling through there. And it took me 8 hours to extricate myself from my situation. Mostly I skied on one leg off the mountain, it was brutal. It was not pretty. And then I got to the skin track and I laid down on my skis on top of my backpack, and I actually paddled my way out for like 6 hours. But now I carry a sat phone. My wife feels a lot better with me having a sat phone because I can call for help if I really get in a situation. Oh, it's getting dark. Yeah, breath training, you're right. So, hey, Candid, I'm originally Colorado, but we are in the Lake Tahoe area. And just so you guys know, seeing this much brown this time of year is slightly terrifying. And in typical winter, there should be feet of snow where I'm standing right now. Like, I should be snowshoeing, not hiking. But we've had a very impoverished, frighteningly poor winter from a snow accumulation standpoint. We are supposed to get a pretty good dump here in the next few days, but it's warm now, so it's not going to persist. Once you don't have a snowpack, you don't get a snowpack. Noonie, we're going to go this way. Oh, Dan, thank you, man. You're awesome. Appreciate you so much. Are you still in Colorado, buddy? I am. Well, one of them. This is the one with the curly tail is a Malamute. And the one that's pulling on the lead right now is Nunariak or Noonie. And he's a nearling at this point. He's nearly a yearling is what I call them when they're this age. It's my nearling. Where are we going to go? I like this spot right here, some of these big old trees. So you're absolutely right. He has a very puppy face. So there's a couple things. First of all, the coloration of his muzzle still has puppies always have sort of a brown top to their muzzle that extends down to their mouth. His is fading now, but yeah, he's still, even though he's 130 pounds, he's still very, very puppy in many respects. Very puppy. And his behavior, of course, is totally puppy. No, I'm not in Canada. I am in California. It's funny how many people ask if they can pet these guys. You can pet them if they come up to you. That's the rule. If you try to come up to them and they don't want that, then that makes everybody pretty uncomfortable. But if they come up to you, you can pet them. Yeah. Oh, very much puppy energy, puppy attitude, puppy vocalizations, puppy exuberance, which I love so much. You guys, how about we top out over the ridge line? I want to go over the ridge. Am I trying to find Bigfoot? No, Bigfoot doesn't like us. He's scared of wolves. What do you guys got going on over here? What are you eating? Come on. What do you have in your mouth? Let's find out. Can I see? I don't know. Oh, an orange peel? Really? So you guys are going to laugh. When our animals have something weird in their mouth, and see, there's more of it. That's funny. And I have a pretty keen sense of smell. But come on, leave it. Hey, you're tangled. He's pulling. Come here. Noonie, leave the orange peel. You don't need orange peel. Come on. At least it freshens his breath. I just stick my hand in their mouth and then I take a whiff to see what's going on. Now, that can go either way. Like today it was orange peel, no big deal. Could have been bear shit. And I was taking a big sniff of bear poop, so highly variable. All right, let's roll over this ridge. Come on. Come on, we're gonna go up, Noonie. We got pretty good scenery here right now. I really like being out sort of in the... I do a lot of my hiking, as you guys know, if you follow my channel, we do a lot of stuff at night. Wolves are what they call crepuscular, which means that they're most active typically at the changing hours of the day. And so dusk, dawn, into darkness. And so I try to maximize the natural cycles of their behavior. And the other advantage is, for me, now less with puppies, and now we're in the snow, he's gonna really be bouncy. And it's gonna be tricky for me, but the other risk here is, of course, I'm thinking about whether I really want to post hole through this. Yeah, you guys are going to make this hard on me. Ouch! Nepenthe, that hurt. My God. You guys are going nutty. They howl, but not necessarily at the moon. You guys. Well, yeah, we're not sturdy enough when they run into us with their big hard heads either. All right, we're gonna go a different way. I don't really feel like being hurt by you guys in the snow. So we're gonna make a U-turn. Come on. Oh, God. Hey. Nepenthe, chill out. Why are you so aggro, sweetie? Come on. You see, this is what I mean by her being oh, you. 80 pounds of cannonball gonna hurt me. Told you I get taken out routinely, and really, stop being so spicy. It's so much easier to walk one at a time. But then they don't get as much excursion time, and I really like to get these animals out as much as I can. Although I can do the girls. I can do a girl and a boy, or two girls. Two boys is too much for sure. That'd be Icknick's 150 pounds. Come on, this way. Hey, Noonie. Come on, we're gonna go back here to this trail. You guys are just too aggro for me to go on something steep and icy in the dark. There's something about this area I've found for some reason, whenever we get like over here, we get a lot of these behaviors. I'm not really sure what the reason, what stimulates that particular behavior. I love this tree. It's so interesting how it's so massive at the trunk and it cantilevers itself back up. I mean, this tree is like 100 feet tall, and at the base, it's probably, I'm guessing it's like 12, 13 feet around at the base. It's just huge. I love it. It's one of my favorite trees. And I tell people, wolves are certainly my thing and the thing I love most on earth, but at heart, I'm just a hardcore environmentalist and ecologist. I just want all species, trees, shrubs, butterflies, voles, all of it to persist in an unaltered state. And I'm pretty despondent about what's happening now with humans and our lust for conquest and domination of the planet. There's going to be fewer and fewer of these big trees left to appreciate. And, I have to admit that not everything about getting older is awesome. That's for darn sure, as my knees will tell you. But on the other hand, one of the advantages is knowing that, for me, time is relatively short. I mean, if I got 30 more years, that'd be a good long run. And I tell my doctors routinely, my goals are kick ass to 80 and go out in the wilderness by a bear. They laugh. They think I'm joking. I'm not really joking. I know I work with bears. I'm routinely under houses with bears. I know how big and how powerful bears are. And I know that being mauled by a grizzly would be a terrible way to go. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's gonna roll. But it would be over quickly. And be interesting. Hey, Nepenthe, don't eat stuff. Come on. Let's see here. Sorry, I've been not looking at the phone here, but let me have a quick peek. 100 drop the coke stash, right? Cocaine wolf, that'd be great. So yeah, that's Yami is right. There's a lot of communications that happen with howling, very complex behaviors. No, don't do it. Come on, mister. I don't know what he just rolled in. The moment you take your eyes off this guy, he's rolling in something gross. Guess I'll find out in a minute here. Noonie, how bad do you stink? Let's find out. Let's see how bad Noonie stinks. Come here, Noonie. Noonie, come here. How bad do you stink? Oh, I got lucky. Nothing too bad. It smells like grass. Come on. Almost time to pop out the headlamp. All right. Let's see. Let's go up. Come on, let's go up. Here, we're gonna go over the ridge. This is a lower ridge. We won't be encountering so much ice. What is my hope for my legacy? Oh, that's a great question. I will tell you. So, I've actually got a couple things. My books, obviously, hopefully will persist long after me, and people will learn some things and have better relationships with their dogs and know more about wolves. I'm currently working on another book that's actually, hey, why do you guys do this whenever it gets tricky for me? Come on, we're going up. Nepenthe. Stop being fierce on the uphill. Come on, up. I'm actually just in the early drafting phases of my next book. I don't even have a title for it yet, but it's addressing the whole alpha wolf myth and the unfortunate culture of toxic leadership that it has inspired. And my goal is to set the record straight on the myth, but more importantly, to inspire a culture of nature and specifically wolf-inspired leadership I call benevolent alpha, because the reality is that wolf leaders they're not tyrants. They're caretakers of their family group, and they lead through altruism. And the best leaders do that as well. The modern science on leadership really shows that the most successful organizations, the most high-performing sports teams, the best parents are benevolent in their alpha leadership role. And there are very specific components to that. And so I am working on a series of talks that I'm going to give that talks about wolf behavior and wolf family dynamics, and then compares that with successful leadership. I'm going to talk about like black swan leadership events and contrast benevolent alpha leadership with malevolent alpha leadership. Those are some of the aspects of my book. And I'll share more of that as it progresses. But then, and I've got this big, hairy, audacious legacy goal that's kind of hanging out in front of me. Oh, hold on. They hear my other animals. I don't know if the mic is good enough, but I can hear Ikutak and Iknik and Siknik and Takik all howling. So the black and white one is a Malamute, and the tannish one here is Nunaryak. He's one of the ambassador wolves at the Tahoe Wolf Center. Yes, they're the best. They are the best, most interesting parents. What's amazing is our Iknik. My big male is 150 pounds, and he is, without a doubt, the best, most careful, most solicitous puppy caretaker in the world. It makes me cry. It's so touching when I bring a new puppy home, and he's just his disposition, how incredibly gentle and calm and careful and protective he is. It's one of the most heartwarming things. All right, bear with me here for a sec, folks. I'm gonna have to put on a headlamp here so I have a clear view of what I'm standing in. That's gonna eliminate my ability to turn the device around here on myself, because all you'll see is a big headlamp, but you will see some pretty cute fuzzy butts. Nooney's like, is Dad getting treats? No, I'm not getting treats, Nooney. I'm just getting my headlamp. All right. Oh, wow. I did not realize it was coming down this hard. That's crazy. My neck is wet. No worries. I get it. I take magnesium at night as well. I use magnesium 3 and 8 myself, which also prevents me from getting cramps in my feet. Hey, don't hit the end of that hard. Wow. This dumping, I did not realize. Without the headlamp, I really didn't. I think also I came over this ridge. We're a bit high now. We're about not quite 7,000 feet where I'm at right now, but boy, there's a huge. Hey, how about we go over here? Oh, now you can really hear my wolves. There's a siren. If the sirens would stop, you'd hear them clear as day, because they're about 2/3 of a mile as a crow flies, but just right below us here. And I can hear Iknik. I recognize their howls. Iknik has a very particular howl. All right, hey, this is a little dangerous. You guys are gonna have to be gentle with me here. I don't mind if I can just get ahead of them for a second on this icy pitch. Come on, this way. It's a good thing I know where the hell I'm going, because there is zero visibility with the headlamp in this. I know these trails very, very well. Fortunately for me. Hey, don't be too crazy. Oh, jeez. You guys are gonna hurt me, and I'm gonna be unhappy about it. How about we take it easy? Please. Hold on. Hey, take it easy, guys. I'm trying to read some of this here. Yes, wolves are amazing parents. I'm happy to let Yami fill you guys in here in the chat, because clearly a lot of wolf knowledge there. But in general, wolves are, they collectively rear their young, which means that, so every wolf pack is a family group that originally formed when a male and a female wolf met and had pups. Most packs consist of just one breeding pair and their offspring from multiple years of pups. So all the pups are offspring of the breeding pair, and then they're related to all their brothers and sisters from different litters. In some cases, you have what are called complex packs, where there are more than one breeding pair. That has happened a lot in Yellowstone because it's a typically unpersecuted wolf population, although of late a lot of wolves have been killed by stepping out of the park and getting hunted, which is awful. Totally unsporting to kill a wolf that is used to people. And all the Yellowstone wolves are used to people. Oh my God, you guys, this is a big deal. What you just saw is a huge deal. You see that foot off the ground right there? So that is the very first time, and I know this for a fact because this is the kind of stuff that I notate very carefully. That's called a raised leg urination, or an RLU. And that's a sign of confidence and maturity in a male. And that was Nunariak's first out of habitat RLU ever. You guys saw to me, those are the kind of things that's like a parent seeing their child do something successfully for the first time. But me seeing him lift his leg and being able to share that with you guys was amazing. So that's the one time in his life that'll be the first. And what were there? 32 of us plus me got to see Noonie do his first raised leg urination. Like, I'm gonna go home. I tell my wife, honey, Noonie lifted his leg, his RLU. I got it on the live stream. That's a big deal. That's a big milestone in his intellectual maturity. And y'all were here for it. Hey guys, what's my opinion on aliens? I think this universe is a gigantic place, and that would be awfully arrogant of us to think we're the only or the first or the smartest. And I think it's a very complex topic, aliens. I'm quite interested in the topic. I have definitely seen some things in the sky I can't explain, and I'm pretty well versed on what's up there. You know, as a naturalist, you got to know the sky at least to some degree, and I do. But all right, how about we don't pull me? It's the gradual downhills where they're pulling me that just wipe me with my knees. All right, let me pause here on the tree for a second, have a look at the, hold on guys. Hey, easy. Be chill. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Deanna. I mean, to me, that little milestone there. So like, I track every hike that I do. I have at this point in my life over 25,000 miles of hikes with wolves. I'd put that milestone up against anyone on earth at this point, because I'm just every day doing this, and I make little notes. And so today my note will be, the loop I did with Nepenthe and Nuni, and then I'm going to put RLU, first time, exclamation point, in my journal. Nuni's a big boy now, kind of. He's still got puppy brain for another year, but he's got confidence. That's for sure. That's big confidence. Well, the problem, Deanna, with wolves recovering across their former range completely is that there used to be 60 million bison in North America, and that supported roughly 2 million wolves, the best estimate we've got. And the thing that's replaced 60 million bison is 500 million cows. And we would not tolerate wolves going to town on all the cattle. If wolves kill one cow, kill 10 wolves. It's just absurd. It's preposterous, but that's our culture, our unfortunate anti-science, anti-wildlife culture. And so you can imagine. I mean, I think that this country, full in, sorry, I'm doing something with the rope here. Hey, easy. You guys gonna have to bear with me for a sec. I gotta make a quick adjust. So I'm originally from Colorado. I think Nuni is gonna be bigger than Iknik. Nuni is significantly bigger than Iknik was at the same age. Iknik is huge, by the way. I mean, Iknik is bigger. Now you have to understand that wild wolves are never gonna hit their true genetic potential because they have to feed themselves, and they're always, oh, hold on, I got weird green screen. What just happened? I do not know what just happened here. Hang on a second. All right, I've got a photo instead of my... I don't know what's going on here. I think my phone is very wet. Hey, take it easy. What is up? I don't want to start a highlight. I don't want a picture. Sorry, guys. I'm having some technical issues here. Noonie, take it easy on me for a sec. If somebody can let me know if you just see a picture of Nepenthe lying down, because that's what I'm seeing right now. Hey, you guys, how about you chill out for 1 second here and let me sort this out. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, having a little struggle here. He's pulling me down the hill and everything is very wet. Yep, Nepenthe chilling. And you're seeing what I'm seeing. That is super weird. I don't even know, it got wet and I don't know what button got pushed. And I can't really tell. Let's see if I can sit down here for a second, just use my weight to sort it out. Yeah, the screen is being super weird. I think they're just too wet. This is all I see. Cancel. Yeah, it's not, I mean, the phone is waterproof enough, but I can't control anything is the problem. And it keeps I just don't know what it did. Why I... Noonie, easy. My God. I'm being dragged. Now we're getting close to home here and people get anxious. Well, folks, you know what? I think I'm going to have to wrap this up just because I can't control my phone anymore. But this has been super fun. It's always my pleasure to share these with you guys. And you guys are probably one of the most fun groups I've had a chance to do this with. So I'm super grateful to y'all for spending the last hour with me and enjoying me and my animals here and asking some amazing questions. And for my subscribers, thank you so much for adding some interesting color and context and great information to this chat. I'm always grateful to you guys. And assuming you can all still hear me, I'll just do one last little pitch here before I wrap this up, which is if you want to support my work, my merch is at oliverthewolfguy.com. If you want to support my nonprofit, it's TahoeWolfCenter.org. If you want to support your dog, buy my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And if you want to support this content, you could be a paying subscriber to the channel, or you can give us little gifts here. And with that pitch, well, thank you all very much. And it's been my honor to share this hike and Noonie's first RLU with you guys. And we will catch you on the next live in the very near future. So thank you all. And I always wrap it up by saying howls. So howls, y'all have a good night.